very clear, I think, that a student that can read, write, compute, work in science in more than one language has an advantage over a student who can function in only one language.
When they leave 5th grade, we want to see them bilingual, biliterate, and bicultural.
These high school seniors have experienced something no other school-age child in South Texas has, and because of it, they say they're better prepared for college. The group is the first to have successfully gone through an intense dual language or DL program, a one-of-a-kind bilingual initiative launched 12 years ago by the University of Texas Pan American and the FAR San Juan Alamo Independent School District. To commemorate this unique honor, UTPA and PSJA held a special graduation ceremony to recognize the students for their dedication, hard work, and commitment to the program that began when they were in kindergarten.
The students received a trophy which identified them as the first cohort of dual language students to graduate, and they received a stole that is going to identify them as a dual language graduate when they walk in May.
Looking back, the DL graduates recall their involvement in the program over the years and how it has significantly impacted their education in a positive way. In fact, they believe they are much more prepared to succeed in college, whether it be at UTPA or any other higher education institution.
We're celebrating today is the accomplishments that we've had so far. The triumphs that we've had, it's definitely a triumph for all of us, and we're so proud of ourselves and of each other. And this is just a time for us to get together with all the people who have made this possible, with our parents, our former teachers, our former principals, and of course the program coordinators. You know, it's just a way for us to recognize all the work that they've done and thank them and be with each other on this night.
Not a lot of people have this opportunity. We were very lucky in receiving this opportunity, and thank God that the government helped us. Our independent school district helped us, so everything just came together for us, and it's just an awesome opportunity to be given this chance of learning 2 languages that will for sure change our life forever.
Learning in 2 languages while going through elementary, middle school, and high school was quite the honor. Like, I started off the program not being able to converse with my grandparents because all they knew was Spanish, and so when they would talk to me, I would give them this blank look, just completely misunderstanding. And over the years, I started understanding more and more what they were saying, and by the time I got to high school, I found myself holding a conversation with my grandparents, something I never thought I was going to be able to do.
This first group that's finishing up, it's not only is it groundbreaking, but it is also opening up so many other possibilities, or recognizing that learning comes in many languages, and that we learn content in English or Spanish. Today, I believe what these children are going to receive on their diploma is an insignia that certifies them as a K-12 dual language graduate.
The idea of creating a DL program first came to light in the late 1990s. Although UTPA and PSJA faced critics who were against bilingual education in public schools, both institutions pressed on and partnered to implement a DL curriculum in the PSJA school district. Now, after 12 years of existence, education experts hope this successful initiative will become the national model for schools considering implementing the program.
Here in PSJ, we're I think, a groundbreaking district in having the dual language and developing biliteracy for our students all the way from pre-kindergarten to the 12th grade.
UTPA and PSJA initially selected 60 children to participate in the DL initiative. The district enrolled them as kindergartners and followed them as they made their way through the system and eventually to the 12th grade.
And dual languages is what is an enriched setting with much higher expectations, much higher academic rigor. We use the term that these classrooms are challenging, they are interactive, and they're authentic.
While the students say they may not have understood the importance of bilingual education as youngsters in the program, they have a different perspective today. The proud seniors credit dual language for providing them with a strong educational foundation and the confidence they need to succeed in college. They also believe DL has empowered them with the necessary skills to better compete in a global society.
Being able to know a different language like Spanish is really helpful, especially when it comes to getting a job. And a lot of people will take a person that knows 2 languages over a person that just knows 1.
Como yo vengo de México, ¿verdad? Me crié con el español, pero como entré a la escuela, pues aprendí inglés y ahorita es como no podía escoger porque ya como... Sí, ya los tengo los dos.
These kids are also providing clear evidence that once you become biliterate, then learning in any of the 2 languages you can be just as successful at.
Those weak in English learned the proper language, and vice versa. Those who lacked in Spanish were taught how to speak it appropriately, a method of curriculum that was applied to most academic subjects, including math, science, and biology.
What I really like about it, it's the help we get, because since some of us know Spanish, they teach it to us in Spanish, and the teacher also helps translate it to us in English so that we can understand it in both languages.
We learned about chromosomes, about DNA, about human parts of the body and systems, and I enjoy really learning how everything attaches together and works as one. It's like the difference between mitochondria and mitochondria. It's just so different, and I just never really thought I'd be learning science in Spanish, and because of the dual language program, it's given me this opportunity.
The classrooms are more GT-like. There's more inquiry-based learning. There's more project-based learning, and the kids are treated like gifted and talented children by how they're being engaged, which then raises the academic rigor in the curriculum, and we have much stronger outcomes, of course, in 2 languages now.
Parents of the DL graduates are impressed with the results of the program. Many have seen their children succeed academically over the years and have noticed a huge improvement in their self-confidence and self-esteem.
Al principio no me sentía muy segura sobre el programa porque pues mi primer idioma es el español, entonces yo lo domino pues digamos que bien, entonces tenía un poco de temor de cómo se lo iban a enseñar, pero di la oportunidad y estoy muy contenta de haber seguido apoyando al niño para que él estuviera en este programa y no me arrepiento de nada, al contrario, lo recomiendo a cualquier padre que apoyen a sus hijos para que estén en este programa.
Y es muy bonito el programa porque les da la oportunidad de poder hablar los 2 idiomas y pueden cambiar de uno a otro y pueden empezar a hablar en inglés and continue talking in English and right away do the transition y empezar a hablar español como si nada. Entonces es una facilidad que les permite a ellos estar más avanzado que, por ejemplo, alguien que no domine el idioma tan fácil de poder cambiar de una a otra and just speak the English language and speak the Spanish language igual de fácil, puede cambiar de un idioma a otra y es lo que nosotros vemos que el programa ayuda bastante en eso.
At the level of middle school, the work that she was doing, I could already see that it was work that was not your traditional bilingual classroom. This was academic level history and Spanish language studies. In high school, when she started studying literature at the college level, it's been just phenomenal. Now that she's going off to college, I can see that she's prepared to take on a 3rd language very easily, very readily. She is able to tutor her peers in English or Spanish because she understands how language is developed and how to explain it.
Para el final de 3er año, cuando Marlene ya tenía más o menos en abril o marzo, que Marlene tenía que tomar los exámenes, ella dijo, yo los puedo tomar en inglés. Y le hicieron evaluaciones, le hicieron examen y tomó sus exámenes en inglés, siendo que se le había enseñado a escribir y a leer en español. Su primer idioma había sido español, entonces ella estaba lista. 4º año lo mismo, 5º año igual. Ella salió commanded en todos los exámenes y tuvo éxito, a pesar de que su idioma había sido español. Y no se le había quitado el español. Al contrario, llevaba el inglés y el español al mismo tiempo.
Parents have a misconception that if their children are taught in Spanish, that they are not going to learn the right amount of English. They're not going to learn how to read and write English. And I believe this has been one of our big challenges. Once parents understand that children can learn both if they're taught correctly, I believe they become the true believers of this program.
You see it in the parents. You know, my child learns in 2 languages. They don't only read and write and speak it, they understand, they comprehend. All that is so much a factor of that pride that they show.
PSJA educators who have taught DL courses have seen the program evolve since it was initiated. They agree that teaching their subjects in both languages was a challenge, but ultimately a rewarding experience.
By this time, my students are what we can call balanced bilinguals. They are academically proficient both in English and in Spanish, so they are capable of speaking, understanding, reading, writing, and thinking in both languages.
Our program is now reaching the eyes and ears of many people in our valley. We are so proud of having people come and visit. We are very fortunate that because we've worked hard, we have now produced a family here at Liberty. Teachers that believe in the program, teachers that are working very hard to make this program even better than it is. And we also have teachers that are willing to go out to conferences, to workshops. We are now able to showcase what we are doing, to demonstrate what we are doing, and that makes it easier for other schools to follow.
The DL program became so popular that UTPA and PSJA successfully convinced administrators to implement this initiative district-wide. Every school now has at least one DL subject taught on their campus, and children as young as pre-kindergartners enrolled in the program. This makes PSJA the first district in the nation to apply DL across the district, and second to El Paso in graduating a cohort of students who have completed 12 years of DL instruction.
The teachers are wonderful. They want to see the child succeed, not only in the English language here because we're in the United States, but they want them to succeed in the Spanish language. They validate both languages. Not one language is above the other at this point because they are learning both of them simultaneously.
Because of its huge success, Superintendent King envisions this program extending to the college level.
My hope is that the universities and colleges can build on that. And as they developed their academic knowledge, their specialized knowledge in whatever areas they major in, as they develop that to even higher levels, that they could, parallel to that, develop their language to those levels also. So that students could graduate from college with very sophisticated language of engineering, of medicine, of law, of whatever field that they're studying. And I believe that that would put our local colleges and universities on the map as national leaders, and I believe that major corporations would come knocking at the doors of our colleges and universities, and our graduates would be first in line for some of the premier jobs in the nation.
UT Pan American prepares the graduates to go straight into our dual language classrooms. A lot of them do their student teaching in our classrooms. They are prepared bilingually. They can deliver lessons in English and in Spanish, and those are the teachers that we want.
Teachers are excited about being part of the DL program because of the incredible results they see every day. The Texas Education Agency is also taking notice of its impact. The organization, which guides and monitors activities and programs related to public education, recently recognized PSJA as a best practice school district. The honor reflects DL's successes with TAKS scores. For example, middle school students who received instruction in social studies strictly in Spanish were able to master the English TAKS in that subject. PSJA's success indicates that DL and children of migrant families whose first language is Spanish succeeded academically by learning English.
This is one example of going above and beyond and going broader and deeper than minimal state requirements. We want our students to have an advantage, not graduate with just minimal skills.
As an example, 8th grade these kids had learned history, and in this particular model, they've been learning history or social studies in Spanish since kindergarten. They continued into middle school, and history happened to be the content area that they learned in Spanish as well in 6th, 7th, and 8th. And of course, after 6th grade in Texas, there's only English testing. So they learned history in Spanish, but tested in English. And they were the highest performing children in the district on that history test. Because knowledge transfers, content transfers. You know, and that was their evidence of the research in practice.
By far the most important achievement of the UTPA-PSJA Dual Language Collaborative has been the results in numbers. This year, FAR San Juan Alamo will graduate 55 students in their second cohort, 10 students more from last year's first cohort of students. Currently, there are 1,235 students in dual language education at the middle school and high school levels, and 5,861 students in the elementary school level. By the year 2014, all of the elementary schools will have dual language education programs from pre-K to 5th grade. By the year 2022, the PSJA school district will have a dual language education school district, most likely one of its kind in the United States.
When parents are skeptical or when other principals are skeptical, I say, come on over, do some observations, come visit our school, look at what's happening in our campus and in the classrooms, and just listen to the children communicating. And when they are communicating, they are learning.